Welcome to my sketchbook page turning, and this is a sketchbook that I bought in Oxford, and its cover is the cover of an old book. You see on the spine it says this book's title is God, which appealed to me. So here we are, July 2016. The Be Good Tanyas. So this is an early version of my 5 years sketchbooks drawings. Boris Gove and Andrea Ledson, all in a Brexit rubbish bin. Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, which I was doing some drawings for the National Youth Orchestra. And this is a track called Riverside by Agnes Obel. This is a handy little sketchbook because it just fits, or fitted into the pocket of my jacket, so I could carry it around and just jot things down in it, do random drawings. So this is a little series of connected drawings. Here's a man extracting a tooth from a sea monster. Here's a girl with a wide-brimmed hat finding a tooth in an old suitcase. And here's the girl in the wide-brimmed hat meeting a fawn in the forest, carrying the same suitcase. And here is a man looking at a note and a key. Some sort of interconnected story going on. And this is a brush pen drawing. I enjoy drawing the backs of people's heads. This is a poster called The Literary Cat, which I don't think I drew for anything, just for its own sake. Us, maybe that was an idea for a book featuring these characters. And this is a poem by Adrian Mitchell called Tell Me Lies About Vietnam. To whom it may concern, I was run over by the truth one day. Ever since the accident, I've walked this way. So stick my legs in plaster. Tell me lies about Vietnam. Heard the alarm clock screaming with pain. Couldn't find myself, so I went back to sleep again. So fill my ears with silver. Stick my legs in plaster. Tell me lies about Vietnam. Every time I shut my eyes, all I see is flames. I've made a marble phone book, and I've carved all the names. So coat my eyes in butter. Fill my ears with silver, stick my legs in plaster, tell me lies about Vietnam. I smell something burning, hope it's just my brains. They're only dropping peppermints and daisy chains. So stuff my nose with garlic, coat my eyes with butter, fill my ears with silver, stick my legs in plaster, tell me lies about Vietnam. Where were you at the time of the crime? Down by the cenotaph, drinking slime. So chain my tongue with whiskey, stuff my nose with garlic, coat my eyes with butter, fill my ears with silver, stick my legs in plaster, tell me lies about Vietnam. You put your bombers in, you put your conscience out. You take the human being and you twist it all about. So scrub my skin with women, so chain my tongue with whiskey, stuff my nose with garlic, coat my eyes with butter, fill my ears with silver, stick my legs in plaster. Tell me lies about Vietnam. It's a poem all about the Vietnam War, and I've given it a sort of contemporary take on the nuclear disarmament issue. The fact that we still have Trident missiles that can end the world. And this is I Sing the Body Electric by Walt Whitman. I've perceived that to be with those I like is enough. To stop in company with the rest of the evening is enough. To be surrounded by beautiful, curious, breathing, laughing flesh is enough. This is a lyric by Damien Rice to his song Cannonball. Stones taught me to fly, love taught me to lie, life taught me to die, so it's hard not to fall when you float like a cannonball. It's a little drawing of someone who was sitting in front of me in the train, the 7:26 to London Victoria. Great profile. Drawing of Bilbo Baggins of Bag End. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and nodding violet grows, quite over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses, and with eglantine. Midsummer Night's Dream. Maybe at the end of the day our lives are no more than tunes, brief little reveries like Tchaikovsky's, and then we wake up and find we were dreaming them all along. Luke stepped out into the path and turned and looked back. If our lives are just dreams, why do they hurt so much? And the old man smiled. I don't know, Luke, he said. From Starseeker by the writer Tim Bowler, who's a lovely, lovely man. If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. Midsummer Night's Dream. Persephone. In the Underworld. Wonderful song by the Cocteau Twins. And this is a drawing of a painting called The Bridesmaid by Millet. And a gallery goer at the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge. One of my favourite museums. And that's a quick sketch of Degas' maquette of a ballet dancer. And this is a quick sketch of Singer Sargent portrait. Again, rather lovely profile. 19th century hair. I think this is a portrait bust of some impressive figure. And this is a close helmet. And something completely different. Lunchtime. challenge turning these pages just with one hand, my other hand's holding the phone. Let's see if we can have some close-ups. More profiles. Bear in the Star. Practical Princesses. One day I might write that book. Coming into land at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. Ready to give my lecture. My goodness. I remember going to Edinburgh that year, 2016. I think I was quite busy. Edinburgh morning, Edinburgh Fringe, preparing for my Ask the Laureate event at 11:45 at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. That was when I was the Children's Laureate, and I used to do an event where people would fill out postcards with questions, and then I would answer the questions with a little drawing for each question. In the Yurt, the Edinburgh Festival. I think that's just a made-up figure rather than someone I saw. And this must have been a little drawing I did warming up for the audience. They must have been watching me draw that. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Again, that's a story I might write one day. Triple bobbled hat. M25 Dragon. Probably drawing in the car. Something I've got quite good at. Grizzly. Tangle. Quite a few hats in the sketchbook. Sometimes it catches when the fumes rise up among the throbbing lights of cars, or as you look away to dodge eye contact with your own reflection in the carriage glass, or in a waiting room a face reminds you that the colour supplements have lied, and some have pleasure, and some pay the price. Then all the small securities you built about your house, your desk, your calendar are blown like straws, and momentarily, as if a scent of ivy or the earth had opened up a childhood door, you pause to take the measure of what might have been against the kind of life you settled for. Stuart Henson. Great poem. No, the candle's not crying, cannot feel pain. Even telescopes, like the rest of us, grow bored. Bubblegum will not make their hair soft and shiny. The duller the imagination, the faster the car. I'm your father, and this is the way things are. When the sky is looking the other way, do not enter the forest. No, the wind is not caused by the rushing of clouds. An excuse is as good a reason as any. A lighthouse, launched, will not go far. I'm your father, and this is the way things are. No, old people do not walk slowly because they have plenty of time. Gardening books, when buried, will not flower. Though lightly worn, a crown may leave a scar. I am your father, and this is the way things are. No, the red woolly hat has not been put on the railing to keep it warm. When one glove is missing, both are lost. Today's craft fair is tomorrow's car boot sale. The guitarist gently weeps, not the guitar. I am your father, and this is the way things are. Pebbles work best without batteries. The deck chair will fail as a unit of currency. Even though your shadow is shortening, it does not mean you're growing smaller. Moonbeams, sadly, will not survive in a jar. I am your father, and this is the way things are. For centuries, the bullet remained quietly confident that the gun would be invented. A drowning Dadaist will not appreciate a concrete life belt. No guarantee my last goodbye is an au revoir. I am your father, and this is the way things are. Do not become a prison officer unless you know what you're letting someone else in for. The thrill of being a shower curtain will soon pall. No trusting hand awaits the falling star. I'm your father, and I'm sorry, but this is the way things are. Roger McGough. Wonderful poet. Very, very nice man. Walking on air after a lovely evening at the House of Illustration, which has just moved to a new location, and it'll be opening this year, I hope. Off on my travels again, Glasgow bound. Hillhead Library, wonderful library in Glasgow. And a bearded man with a coffee on the train to Gatwick. For a memory tape of some of my favourite songs, Salad Days by the Young Marble Giants, wonderful track. Into My Arms by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen. Priest with Balloons is a beautiful song by a singer-songwriter who goes by the name Tiny Ruins. Ocean Rain by Echo and the Bunnymen, beautiful song. We Were Wasted by the Leisure Society. I've illustrated their concerts. Walk Out to Winter by Aztec Camera. The Bewley Brothers by David Bowie. And Bridges and Balloons by the wonderful harpist Joanna Newsom. It's not a bad list. How they strut about, people in love. How tall they grow, pleased with themselves. Their hair glossy, their skin shining. They don't remember who they've been. How filmic they are, just for this time. How important they've become. Secret, above the order of things, the dreary mundane. Every church bell ringing a fresh sign. How dull the lot that are not in love. Their clothes shabby, their skin lustreless. How clueless they are, hair a mess. How they trudge up and down streets in the rain. Remembering one kiss in a dark alley, a touch in a changing room, if lucky. A lovely wait for the phone to ring, maybe, baby. The past with its rush of velvet, its secret hush, already miles away, dimming now, in the late day. It's by Jackie Kay, the wonderful Scottish poet. Elusive, witnessed first on paper, then in deserts, then one whole city. Those on the outskirts called it Picadon, flash boom in Japanese. Those who saw it closer shortened it to Pika, a flash without a voice. Survivors said it entered them through eyes, then mapped them in an instant, silver and alive. After that, it went to one more city, then back to sands and seas. New Year's Day, Hiroshima, 1945. Outlandish snowfall for a warm delta city. 7 great rivers, 7 dark threads in the blanket. Bridges fill with marvellers. Believers in ill omens keep their mouths shut for fear of Tonegumi, keepers of morale. Come summer, everyone would know that Pika had prepared its way with ice and painless beauty. Michael Simmons Roberts. Again, a wonderful poet, I think Manchester-based poet. I did a radio show with him. The vet was careful to place the barrel of his gun right on the swirl of hair in the centre of her forehead. In the silence after the explosion, she was still for a second, as if she would stand in death, as she had stood in sleep. We watched, an audience expecting tricks, and eventually she obliged, succumbing to the slow fold of her fall with a buckling of the crooked back legs, and a comedy sideways lean that went too far. There was little symmetry in her collapse, just the natural pattern of pain. Even her tongue was out of order, escaping from the sound from the side of her jaw and dipping to taste the earth below, like a child stealing a taste of cake before it is served. That's Owen Shears on the death of a horse. Wonderful Welsh poet. Boys have football and skate ramps. They can ride BMX and play basketball in the courts by the flats until midnight. Girls have shame. One day, when we are grown and we have minds of our own, we will be kind women with nice smiles and families and jobs, and we will sit with the weight